Hello everyone, this is Video Game Lover here, and I'm going to do, I guess, my full thoughts. I'm not really sure this is going to be a whole much of a review, but I'm going to give you guys my full thoughts on Pokemon Shield, as you can see right there. Now, keep in mind, I'll try the best I can to add, some videos and things like that. I actually decided to do that at the start of the video, but I just want to let everyone know, yes, we're all entitled to our opinions, and yes, like, let's say someone really enjoyed Pokemon Shield, that's perfectly fine, but I just want to tell you why I was very disappointed with Pokemon Shield. Now, does that mean it's a bad game? No, I don't think this is the ultimate disaster that killed the series as what a lot of these diehard Pokemon fans are trying to make it out to be. Or is it the one that's like beyond Glitch Fest? No. But do I think that this is a very disappointing entry of the series? Yes. So, I'll get to that later. But for now, let me think about the positives. What are the things I did like about this game? For one, I liked most of the Pokemon in this game. My team was Rillaboom, who was Grookey's evolved form. He was awesome. Grimmsnarl, who was an amazing Pokemon. He kind of reminds me of Devilman from Devilman Crybaby. He is a very good Pokemon. He's a dark fairy type. I highly recommend him in your team. Golisopod, again, love him. Colossal, who is like this turtle rock fire type, kind of like Matt Cargo, except he's a turtle. He's awesome. I liked him a lot. Corviknight, I really wanted to raise him the first time I saw him, because I thought he was one of the most badass looking Pokemon in the game. Corviknight's a flying steel type. He's awesome. An awesome Pokemon. And last was Toxtricity, who was a poison electric type. Which he's kind of funny because he's like a rock star in a way. He does like this guitar animation or something. So that's really cool. I like the legendaries. I thought they were okay. And all the other Pokemons were okay, but some were pretty bad. Like that ghost that's in a teacup and those prehistoric Pokemons. Oh my god, those were really bad. Those are some really bad Pokemon. But I thought that the Pokemon for this generation was just okay. The battle system, I think it runs very well. It didn't lag that much, mainly because it's running on better hardware, because Sun and Moon was running on the 3DS. The battle system, for the most part, ran really well. I didn't really ran into a lot of lagging problems with the game, so that's good. I like the Galar region for the most part. I like some of the cities, like this one city that is like this mushroomish, like glow-in-the-dark city. I thought that was really nice. I like some of the cities. I like Hammerlock. That was a really cool city. And the wild area is okay, and I'll get more in-depth with the wild area. So, there are some things I really liked about the game. Now let me get to a lot of things I didn't like about the game. And I'm just going to say this blunt. The story is absolutely horrendous. I can go as far as saying this was one of the worst stories I think I've ever seen in a Pokemon game. You're the main character. You have an annoying rival, Hop. I don't think Hop was as bad as some made it out to be, but he was annoying in the way that you kept finding him like 10 or 12 times in this game. He gets really annoying after a while. And he's like, I want to be champion and all that. So, you go to this forest called Slumbering Wheel. And that's where you encounter Zacian or Zamazenta the first time. But you don't find him, he just disappears. So then, you want to beat Leon, who is a champion, and he has this Charizard. He's supposedly this unbeatable champion. And then you go out and battle and fight, the 8 gym leaders, and that's it. Honestly, there are only a few key moments, like you run into BDU eventually because your rival, because he's like really obsessed with being a gym leader. And then you have Team Yell. Team Yell was garbage. Okay, look, I know some people want to say Pierce made Team Yell better, because Pierce is the team leader, and the only reason they did this was because they want they really want Marnie to become the next Dark Gym leader. So that was like, it was pretty much like a brother-sister thing. So I'll give them credit, they were trying to be a little different with the team leader again, but Team Yell was a dramatic step back from Team Skull. At least with Team Skull, they never planned like take over the world, they were just a bunch of bullies. Yes, Kuzma did eventually work with Lucamine from the Ether Foundation, but that was really about it. Team Yellow, I felt, was a major step back. So then, throughout the game, after you get the 8 gym leaders, it was like Game Freak forgot to add a villain. They're like, oh shit, we need a villain. So out of nowhere, Chairman Rose, who is the guy that runs the whole thing, he ends up suddenly turning heel. He like does like a Big Show like heel turn out of nowhere. So basically, there's these wishing stars that power up the Dynamax band that you have that makes your Pokemon gigantic and all that. Well, Chairman Rose the entire time, along with his assistant, have been giving these wishing stars to this Pokemon called Eternus, who is apparently this ancient god Pokemon that's like apparently, according to the Pokemon, that's one of the most strongest Pokemon in the world. Okay, so I guess Arceus, and Mewtwo are irrelevant now. The reason he did this is because he fears that Galar region's running out of energy. So he decided, hey, you know what? Let me do this idea. It backfired horrendously, and he accidentally causes the second Darkest Day, which the Darkest Day was like this dreadful day that almost killed everyone in Galar region thousands of years ago, and then 2 heroes ended up saving the day with Zacian and Zamazenta. Not really all that original, considering that kind of reminds me of the ancient war for Pokemon X and Y. So you fight Eternus, believe it or not, and you have Zacian and Zamazenta helping you. Now, I thought that was awesome. The part that you fight Eternus to save Galar region was awesome. The scenery was great, and the music of that scene was amazing. The only problem, and it kind of ruined it, was you weren't able to use your Dynamax power. So you had to fight Eternus in this weak-ass stage and let Zacian and Zamazenta do all the work. I just think that kind of ruined that moment a little bit. And then just, problem solved. Like, Rose was like, oh shit, I messed up, I'm gonna turn myself in. There you go, and then you beat up Leon, and that's it, you're the new champion. That's the story. So now you probably ask yourself, wait a minute, wait. Eternus, what about Zacian and Zamazenta? You actually don't catch them until the post-game. You actually catch Eternus, and then you catch Zacian or Zamazenta. And the post-game plot is even worse. So Sonia, the assistant of the professor, she becomes a new professor. And then apparently these 2 guys who happen to be the king's descendants, they steal some of the wishing stars, and they want to show everyone that Zacian and Zamazenta are actually evil. So you have to stop a bunch of Dynamax Pokemon for destroying Galar. You fight the 2 guys, and then you finally fight Zacian and Zamazenta. You catch them, and then Hop wants one more battle with you, and this time he has either Zacian or Zamazenta, and you win. And then the Sword people knew they messed up, so they're turning themselves in. And the post game was only an hour and a half long. Okay, another thing. Not only is this game pretty easy, it's actually pretty short. I know a lot of people say it took me 40 hours to beat the game. Someone said you could beat this game in 50 hours. I beat the games in 17 and a half hours. 2 of which came from the wild area because I was trying to find Grimmsnarl and Toxtricities before Evolved Forms. That's actually what took me the longest, but I was blowing through this game so easily because of the experience share being forced upon you, and the gym leaders are a damn joke. All of them with the exception of Alistair's, well, because I put him on Shield, Alistair's Gengar, every gym leader was very easy. Even the Elite 4, it's technically an Elite 3. You fight 3 gym leaders you already beat, and then you fight BD out of nowhere. So they're technically the Elite 4. And then after you beat them, and after you do the Eternus battle, you fight Leon, and Leon is piss easy. The only problem I had trouble with was Haxorus now is because Grimmsnarl is weak to Haxorus because he has a steel move. Charizard, okay, Leon, you have to hold the biggest L. The fact that you rose a Charizard, now with many people that know Stealth Rock and plenty of rock moves, your Charizard is a damn joke. A complete fucking joke. So yeah, it's a very easy game, and I beat it in 17 and a half hours. That's including the post game. I beat it in about 15 hours. So yeah, it's not a long game at all. And the story is very, very weak. So, not looking too good, right? Back to what I was saying about the music. This was something I forgot to mention. I like most of the music. I like Hammerlock's theme. I like the Wild Area theme. I like some of the cities. I like Hopp's battle theme, believe it or not. And once again, I love Internus' battle theme. That was glorious. But other than that, some of the songs were just hit or miss. So, I want to also talk about the Dynamax thing. Basically, the Dynamax thing is just the Z move from Pokemon Sun and Moon, except it lasts 3 turns and your Pokemon turns gigantic. That's all it literally is. That's really all it is that it's just the Z time move on steroids, basically. So it's nothing like new. I mean, you could argue it's kind of new, but it's not really. So there's that. So I've been very harsh on the game. I thought the story was really bad. I thought that the presentation was pretty lacking. It looks fine. The graphics are fine for the most part. Yes, about the whole N64 tree and all that. We'll get to that in a minute. So that's all I have to say as far as the game. Now I want to get to the people that, have been very, very defending this game. I know that some people took Game Freak's criticism way too far. They were death threatening Game Freak and all that. That was stupid. That was absolutely horrible. But there is one thing. Take off your Pokemon fanboy goggles for 1 minute and let's think this through. Game Freak did in fact deserve the criticism. There's no denying it. They lied. I mean, you saw from my videos. You had Zacian or Zamazenta doing like this weird moonwalking. You had that Pierce who was singing, but he wasn't singing. That was really lazy in my opinion, because you had Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 where Roxy, who was the Poison Gym leader, she was singing. She's actually singing her gym theme. There was actual singing in that game. And that game came out 7 years ago and it had 2D sprites. So if that had singing, why couldn't Sword and Shield have singing? Look, the issue I have with the whole animation thing is that they sacrifice half the Pokemon to claim to say it's for the animations, to make the animations way more. Most of the animations are bad. And yes, those double kick animations, oh my god, it's horrendous. Scorbunny just like doing this, boom, boom, that's the double kick. It's beyond pathetic. It's very, very pathetic. And of course, that one scene where you're climbing up a ladder and all of a sudden, the trainers are suddenly frozen, like if time froze for some reason. I don't know, it's not a very well polished game. It really doesn't seem like a very polished game. Now, I mentioned the wild area, so I'm going to talk about that in just now. The wild area I thought was a nice idea, but I don't think it was handled very well. Let me explain. The wild area is just one giant area. Once you leave the wild area, that's it, you're done. Once you leave the wild area, that's it. There's only one wild area. That's it. Yes, it's big as hell. You can run into very strong Pokemon by accident, and it's pretty scary. But it just doesn't work very well, and it gives you a disadvantage, especially when you run into those very strong Pokemon. I just don't really like the idea of the wild area. It was a nice little concept, but I don't think it was handled very well. So, that's all I have to say for Pokemon Shield. Do I think this is a bad game? No. But do I think this is a very disappointing Pokemon game? Yes. I feel like this was a major, major step back from the Pokemon franchise. I know some like to rag on Sun and Moon, especially with its horrible Well, I forgot to mention Elena. That's the Chairman Rose's assistant. She tried to be like Lucamine, where she tried to be evil and didn't work well. This is what I got from the game. I felt like they were trying to be like Pokemon Sun and Moon, but failed miserable at it. Because Sun and Moon had a lot of new ideas. You know, there was no gym leaders or gyms. Instead, you do these trials, and they felt very awesome. You know, you had a different villains. You had, you could go to multiple different islands. It felt very vast. This Pokemon game, the best way I could describe this game, it's too safe. It was like they got cold feet to make this game very ambitious, and they decided to play it safe and go back to 8 gym leaders, which they're very easy. A champion that I find he's okay. I mean, he's not as bad as Diantha, but he's whatever. And it's just lacks presentation all around. That's how I feel with Pokemon Shield. And I just think it's a very, very disappointing game. The highest I would give it, I honestly think it's a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe not feeling very generous, maybe an 8 out of 10, but I think that's just too generous. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. There were some great ideas in this game, but I don't think it was executed well. And I feel that Game Freak really dropped the ball, and they really half-assed it. And I just feel like this game is not complete. I mean, you can argue that you could do a lot of stuff in the wild area. Not really. I beat the game in 17 and a half hours, and that was with the post-game. And it's even more baffling that you don't get Zamazenta until after you beat the game. Very dumb. I just think it suffers the same problem with X and Y. I just think it's just a forgettable entry. You know, like, even though I just played X and Y like 2 years ago, I still kind of barely remember that game a whole lot. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a fun Pokemon game, but it just wasn't that memorable. I feel that's the same issue I have with Pokemon Shield. It's just not a very memorable Pokemon game. Maybe they're gonna make a new version of this game and bring all the Pokemon back, but what? Overall, I just think it was a disappointment. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is 3 Game Mode today, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace. Oh, and hold on, guys. I forgot one more thing. There was one cool thing I forgot to mention. The gym missions were pretty fun, and it kind of reminded me of Unbeatable Banzuka. I kind of joked that on Twitter, if you didn't see that. So I like that. So I'll bump my score up to like a 7.7 out of 10. Alright, now the video's. See you guys later. Peace.